What's up, everybody? Pilot 83 here. We are doing part 2 of my F-14 Autopilot tutorials. This is on how to do a ILS Approach and ILS Landing. Now this video you're going to pay a lot of attention to because this plane has some bugs. And if you want to achieve this, you're going to have to watch this whole video to see what I'm talking about and how to get around it. So, first things first, we need to hide our yoke. And also, if you have not, you need to set up a flight plan. So do that in the world map. Set yourself up an IFR. It's the easiest way. I just set up a IFR. I'm going from Selma to Pensacola. I'll be landing at Pensacola International at runway ILS 17. There is not a way to set up a flight plan within DC Designs F-14. They did not put that option into the plane. It cannot be done on PC either, but PC is able to do it through some third-party software applications they can download. So on Xbox right here, like what I'm recording this on, the only way that we have to do this is this way, through the world map, or you could do it through headings. If you know you're heading to that airport and you know the heading to the runway, then you can do that too, and you can capture that glide slope that way. So let's go ahead and go over a couple things we already talked about. So remember, this is our autopilot panel here. I didn't mention this yesterday or 2 days ago. Yesterday, it was yesterday. But make sure that these three are always up. Y'all roll and pitch. 99.9% of the time, they are up. They automatically go up when the plane turns on and stuff. But for some reason, one of them is down. Turn it up or switch it up, because it will mess up your GPS. Be sure you have this set to nav. Once you're in the air, you're going to switch on this to nav. Alright. And that will get us to follow our flight path. A couple of things we're going to go over very fast to be aware of. If you have not noticed, there are 2 auto throttles in this plane. And the way they're labeled, I don't like it, because it's 2 different things. And there is a glitch here as well, a bug. So the one right here that I'm on, this one's what will automatically control your thrust for you, according to your altitude or whatever measures it needs to adjust it to. This will automatically thrust the plane to keep it within safe flying means. Alright, the one over here is the one where you set where you want it to hold a speed. So up here, you see where it says 250. Well, it's weird because it's changed that. We got to go over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just change mine to 200. Get ready for my approach. But the issue is, and I know it happens on Xbox, and I know it's happened on PC, and I know there's supposed to be an update to fix this. I'm not sure if it's if it's a Microsoft issue or if it's a DC Designs issue. But that is that when you click this right here and you go into this mode, and so you're flying around, you're letting this control your thrusters for you and do all the work. When you turn it off and then you say, well, I want to come over here now and go and hold a 200 knot speed, it won't let you do it. This, you can come back over here and switch it to 200 knots, and it'll go down till you let it go, and then it'll go back up here, and this will change to whatever speeds the flight computer autopilot is suggested the plane needs to be at your whatever be, I guess, at your altitude or your descent or your transition, whatever. is basing it on, and it'll be showing it up here as if this is still turned on when it's not. So good rule of thumb is I just don't use this. This plane just manually thrust it through your flight. It doesn't affect autopilot at all. So do that. Go ahead and turn on our altitude hold mode. I'm gonna go ahead and set this. Sometimes, guys, I hate my mouse. Go ahead and set this to 11,000. We're gonna get ready to take off here and do this. This is a basic tutorial, but it's gonna seem advanced just because there's so much bugs. Well, not a lot, but there is a few bugs you have to get around that kind of are a pain in the butt. But we'll go over them as we get to them. So everything else is good. Sun's coming up. Boom. All right. Let's go ahead and take off. Actually, let me go ahead. I am going to change our weather here. Let's change it up. 745. Boom. All right. Let's do this. Flaps down. We got plenty of runway here, so we'll just do military thrust. Parking brakes off. Military thrust. There we go. Say within our 10 degrees here. Gear up, lights up.
83 Whiskey Tango 08 Tree Heavy is passing 700 feet, climbing 7,000 feet. Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 08 Tree Heavy.
Something else I want to talk about. And that is that this plane overbanks way too much in autopilot.
Going to 120.55.
And the reason that this is a big problem, and there's supposed to be an update to fix this also by DC Designs.
Let
me turn down.
Is passing 5,600 feet, climbing 7,000 feet. Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 08 Tree Heavy.
And the reason that this is a big issue is, say you're taking off and you get to your flight route really fast, you're at low altitude. Well, your plane will bank so hard that you'll lose so much altitude that you could crash. So let's go ahead, level off. DC Designs recommends the plane being a hands-free flight before you turn on your autopilot for best results. So we'll turn that on, turn our nav on. We already got our altitude set. So look how hard we're banking.
83 Whiskey Tango 08 Tree Heavy. Atlanta Center Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 08 Tree Heavy is passing 15,700 feet, descending 7,000 feet. Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 08 Tree Heavy, Atlanta Center altimeter 29.9 continue to chapter as planned.
That's our barometer there. When they say set your altimeter, guys, that's what they're talking about if y'all didn't know. And what this does is this keeps your altitude correct that you're seeing. But anyway, back to the plane over banking. Why that's a big issue. The big issue where it really comes into play is when you set up, say you set up your flight plan, your flight route, and you are looking at your approach into your final to your runway. If it has a bunch of zigzags in it, or like a sharp turn in it, or like a roundabout, or pushing like a teardrop back around it, this plane will overbank in those turns in autopilot following that nav path, and then once it overbanks, it will then try to correct itself by overcorrecting, and then it just goes back and forth, and it never gets out of it, or it crashes. So I always set, in this plane, if I do this, I set my approach to be a easy come in to the runway. Go ahead and turn off landing mode. Turn those lights off. Alright. So we are on course here. A real quick rundown, which we'll go over it again as we're doing it. To work ILS in this plane, the process is simple. You're just going to click this one button up top. Not the one on the bottom of it. Not the second ILS one, but just the top one. The second one is the do not touch button. Do not touch that button or you will screw up everything. This button will glitch this plane out and make buttons come on and that will lock. Don't mess with it. Only hit that top button. Then hit vector for flight director. You'll turn that on. Then once you are low enough, got your flaps down and your landing gear down, click on this right here. Engage DLC. And that is direct lift control. And what that does is that lifts up these little spoilers on top of your wings to increase drag on the plane, which allow the plane to fly slower for one and maintain control, but it also helps you maintain better control of the plane at those lower altitudes. This plane will automatically catch the glide slope once we are in range of it. Like the 747 will, you don't have to click, lock, or approach like you do in the A320. It will automatically catch it. But there is a bug there too, which we will approach once we're there. We'll stay at our 11. But yeah, what else? What else? Alright, so this could be a short flight. Once we turn on chaff here, I believe it's 2 waypoints till we are onto our approach final. DC Design suggests that you land this plane at 127 nautical knots. Well, that's all good and all, but when you're doing an ILS landing, that's a little too slow for this plane. This plane will, because this plane likes to drop very fast, it will a lot of times fall short of the glide slope towards the end and crash right before the end of the runway. So I keep it around 145, 150, usually 150, and that seems to be perfect.
120.2 for Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 08 Tree Heavy. Jacksonville Center Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 08 Tree Heavy is passing 11,000
Also,
feet,
keep
descending
VNAV off
7,000
for this. We're doing this ILS. Do not need it. We're 80 miles out and they want us to drop down to 1,800 feet. What are they even talking about, ATC? But yeah, like I said, so I do about 150s to be like the safe zone. It normally gets us right where we need to be. Oh, now they're saying 7,000. Alright, I'll give you 7,000 toots. We are not far away. Pensy. Alright, so
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 17 approach via Pensy transition. Cleared to Pensy Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 08.
clear for final approach. Pensy's not far away. Just right up there. We should see our ILS signal indicator come on soon, showing us that we're within range. Now something I'm gonna go over real quick because you're probably gonna see it happen. It's when we do turn on our top ILS switch, our localizer locks very easily, very fast.
Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
No, now you want us to go back up to 11,000. Okay.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy.
But yeah, like I said, so it would catch. This catches very easy. This one used to, our approach one. Now it doesn't. A lot of times it won't catch at all. It'll be above you and come down, look like it's about to catch, and it doesn't. And then we have to adjust our altitude to get back under it and come back up slowly, and then it catches. So something to look out for. It's not because of you. After Sim Update 7, that started happening. It used to catch them both almost instantly. I was like, wow, this is amazing how easy this is. Things have got a lot more complicated in this plane. So, as much as this is basic, this is a advanced bug tutorial, and I apologize that this is what we're having to deal with, even though it's not my fault.
Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy. Please expedite your climb 11,000 feet.
So I was at 11,000. They want us to go to 7,000. They're gonna come back. They say go back up to 11,000. And now watch her come back and say go to like 1,800.
Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy contacting when approach on 124.05. Good day.
ATC is wacky right
Going
now.
to 124.05. Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy. Eglin approach. Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy is at 7,000 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy Eglin approach altimeter 29.902 continue to Pensy as planned. Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy descent and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy.
Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy descent and maintain 1,800 feet.
They just don't know what they're talking about, I swear.
Descend and maintain 1,800 feet. Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy.
I'm gonna put her at 2,800 feet.
Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 heavy descent and maintain 2,600 feet.
I only want 2,600.
Descend and maintain 2,600 feet. Pilot 83
Alright,
Whiskey Tango
so guys, so let's get
083
ready.
heavy.
As we're about to turn onto our transition of our approach here. Go ahead and get some things ready. Go ahead and turn our landing lights on. Go ahead and turn on auto throttle here, so we're down to 200. This little upside down magenta T right here, this is our ILS signal. We can now see it popping up on our screen. You could turn landing mode on if you want. Gives you a little extra help there with landing, with some visuals, displays. I think there's enough going on as there is. Now, when we turn this on right here, there will be a box for a minute here around, it'll say around GPS, or it'll say heading or track, one of those. There'll be a second box right here. Once that diamond's locked up, so he's already picked it up, that box will disappear. That will appear right here, which you'll see in just a minute here. As soon as we level off, we're gonna set all this. I'm going to put full flaps down. Alright, so watch. We'll turn that on. Alright, so it says track. There's a box there. Once this is locked, it's going to disappear. Boom. So localizer is locked. Let's go ahead and turn on flight director. Lower landing gear. And then once you lower landing gear, you can then engage DLC. Landing gear has to be down for DLC to work. The switch will not come on until landing gear is down. So now we switch it. And that is what these are on top of the wings. So we're good there. I'm going to go ahead and bring our speed down. Say to 155 for the moment.
Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 Heavy, you are 14 miles north of Pensacola. Contact
12 miles out.
on 119.9 when inbound.
Now, the tricky part, y'all,
Tower on 119.9, Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083
is when
Heavy.
that diamond comes down.
Pensacola Tower, Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 Heavy, 13 miles north inbound ILS runway 17 approach.
Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 Heavy, Pensacola Tower. Altimeter 29.9 2 and 27 tree at tree. Cleared ILS runway 17 approach.
Cleared ILS runway 17 approach, Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango 083 Heavy.
Alright, so we're coming in 10 miles out. We should see this one any second. There she is. Now let's see if it captures her. Let's watch what happens. We'll go ahead and slow down at 150. It's 127. To me, it's just too slow. Bring this plane in on ILS landing. It falls below the glide slope. You want to go ahead and take your thrusters, put them down to idle. So when you turn off your autopilot and auto throttle, that you don't should run away. So you got to turn both of those off, auto thrust and auto throttle, right before you land this plane, and have your thrusters to idle. So see, she went right through there. She should have locked up. She didn't. Because when she locks up, altitude will disappear. It'll say just GS. So, what we got to do now is just go ahead and drop her back down, get back below this. It's kind of a pain in the butt, I tell you what. Come on, baby. Boom. Got it. Thank the Lord. Alright, so from here out, all we got to worry about now is having our
Cleared to land runway 17, Pilot 83 Whiskey Tango
thrusters
083 Heavy.
on idle and be ready to turn off autopilot and auto throttle. I'm gonna hold it right to where we're at minimums, and then I will disengage there. So we'll get pretty close on this, just to see how she holds. We're a little bit off on our localizer. It looks like she's trying to correct herself. I'll watch everything here. Yeah, if we were at 127 right now, we would be almost in these trees at this very second.
Pensacola Tower, Blue Street 549er, 419er miles, northeast inbound ILS runway 17 approach.
Blue Streak 549er 4 Pensacola Tower. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2 and 273 at tree. Cleared ILS runway 17 approach.
Alright, we're at minimums.
Cleared ILS runway 17 approach Blue Street.
Autopilot off,
449er,
auto throttle off to idle. Oh, come on. Brakes. And that's how we do it, guys. I know it's a little bit complicated because of all the bugs, but it's part of the experience of simming. But I'm Pilot 83, guys. I hope y'all enjoy this video. If y'all have any questions at all about this, just let me know, because I have it figured out. So I'll be glad to help you. As always, guys, happy flying. I hope to see you out there in the skies. Also, Happy New Year to everyone. Hope everyone has an amazing, blessed New Year. Peace. If you made it this far, thank you so much. If you like this video and you feel like I earned your subscription, please hit that subscribe button and that like button so you don't miss out. Until next time, guys, see you in the air.